Hello, fellow fish nerds, and happy day of February fish vlogs. This morning, as I was getting ready, as I often do, random thoughts, creations, ideas pop in my head. Usually, creations and ideas. Well, this morning, a question popped in my head, and I was thinking about what benefit do fish keepers provide the rest of the world? Like, how are we helping the world? Yes, there's the conservation thing, which, trust me, I'm a huge fan of. Like, if it wasn't for that, I don't think it would be worth it for me. Are there negative impacts on the environment with the aquarium trade? Yes, there are negative impacts, but pretty sure most of the fish and plants that I get most of them are actually locally raised from my friends in the local fish club, and the rest of them are almost always captive bred. I have never bought a wild caught fish. I even keep a few species that are extinct in the wild and that are on the CARES list, which I'm a big fan of keeping that program going. So anyways, I was wondering, what other benefit do fish keepers provide the world?
It's MrScienceGeek. I hope my tanks don't leak. If it's information that you seek, be sure to tune in each week. And my videos take a peek. My singing and my jokes really read.
And I realized, well, it's something that I've already done a little bit of, and that is in the area of food. Obviously, I've done a lot in the area of food. I mean, double chin, gut, all that stuff, But seriously, aquaponics. In my research of setting up aquaponics, I think it's a very interesting thing, and that's the process. For those who don't know, it's the process of raising vegetables that are fertilized by fish feces. That's a lot of F's. And the plants obviously filter out the fish waste and go through the whole nitrogen cycle of turning ammonia into nitrites, and then turns it into nitrates, which is then food for the plants and fertilizer. And the plants grow. The plants that you grow are edible plants like vegetables, lettuce, kales, things like that. The shorter ones are better because they don't have to be staked out like a tomato plant. It's difficult to have those grow on a floating system. So anyways, in my research on aquaponics, most aquaponics people, people in aquaponics, that's what I just said, come from a background of the vegetable gardening or of gardening. And their weakness is the fish side of the aquaponics. Their strength is obviously the plants. So last spring, the ag teacher at my school, or actually I guess it was a year ago, it was a year ago, probably a little bit more than a year ago. The ag teacher at my school was planning to set up an aquaponics system at our school to teach the kids about, hey, this is what aquaponics is, this is how it can work. And he had some questions, and the guy through our state cooperative, whatever, wasn't very cooperative all the time or as often as what he needed or as quickly as he needed. And the ag teacher knew that he had a local resident fish nerd, yours truly. So using my expertise, I was able to help advise him on the fish side of it and how to get that set up, and advise him on what was the cheapest way and most efficient way and easiest way, etc. Gave him a bunch of ideas and options, and I offered to some of my mutt guppies. It's like, here, if you want to use these to help you to cycle your tank and ensure it's safe for the tilapia, there you go. If they die, well, they serve their purpose for the greater good of saving, other fish. So they were the sacrificial lambs. So I advised on that and helped out with that and kind of led him in a few directions and pointed him into options that were cheaper and easier. And he would come back to me with some info from the local state cooperative guy who knew things better on a large scale version than what I do. I don't have any experience with the large scale aquaponics operation, but small scale of one, fish tub basically, I do know a thing or two about. So we're able to work from there and get it set up, and it is still continuing to go to this day. There has been a mysterious leak somewhere further down in the system, not in the fish tub, but in the one of the growing beds has a leak that's developed. But once they found that, I think they fixed it, and they are actually growing tomato plants in the aquaponics system, which is pretty impressive, and I didn't think that was really possible at this level. So, and they're actually flowering. They aren't, or they're blooming. They aren't fruiting yet. So then, this past summer, sorry, it's bouncy. I'm on a bouncy road. This past summer, the ag teacher came to me again and said, "Hey, we can't keep the fish here over the summer in the greenhouse because they would cook. They would die. It would get too hot. Temperatures in the greenhouse in the summertime get upwards of 120 or so for extended periods of time, possibly even hotter. I don't know. I haven't measured the temperature that much." So, so I offered, like, hey, if you can find another large tub to put them in, then I don't mind keeping them in my driveway with the rest of my summer fish tubs. He's like, well, finding a tub to keep them in is the easy part. It's like, all right. So literally the last day of school, I went up to the school with my dad after school hours, and with his pickup and stuff, loaded up the back of his truck with the fish tub and put the tilapia in 5-gallon buckets, and some of them jumped out, and why didn't they just harvest them then? Well, they weren't the right size to be harvested in the spring. They were closer of size of being harvested in the late fall. So that's why once they get things going and on the right cycle, then they will be able to just harvest them at the end of the school year, or get them and grow them faster and harvest them during the school year. So that's the plan. So that was kind of my own answer to what benefits fish hobbyists, aquarium hobbyists, fish keepers provide the world. If there are any more that you can think of, then please just post them in the comments below. I know that we can make things pretty and stuff, and I know that we can that fish tanks help to reduce stress in people and anxiety and PTSD, and if they're put in places where people suffer from these issues, then it can help to improve the quality of their life. Like if they're put in a VA hospital, which I think would be a really cool place, or a children's hospital, or like what my local fish club does, they sponsor and set up and maintain a tank in the Boys and Girls Club home. So it's actually in the section where the kids go for counseling. So it's like a pre-relaxation kind of area before they go and talk to their counselors. So that's really cool. So like I said, if you have any other ideas as to how fish keepers help benefit the world, then please just post that in the comments below. And until next time, stay tuned and stay fishy, people. Bye.